Hey toy fans, I'm D21 Beast and welcome back to my figure review series here on my YouTube channel. And today we're looking at a really fun set of Minimates. So glad I got these things. These are the Ghostbusters Cleaning Up the Town box set from Art Asylum and Diamond Select, released in 2014. And these Minimates are a lot of fun. I don't know if you guys are aware, but this week actually marks the 30th anniversary of Ghostbusters in theaters, and it is an awesome time to be a Ghostbusters fan. It is still, in my opinion, one of the best comedies out there. It's coming back to theaters this Friday, and the buzz is just getting great for these guys. Ghostbusters was a fantastic film. If you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. It is on Netflix right now. And like I said, it's definitely one of the best comedies that I personally keep in my own ranking. I'd say it's in the top 5, if not the top 1 of my favorite comedies of all time. So definitely a movie you guys need to check out. And these Minimate figures celebrate that film in the best ways possible. We have here Ray Stantz, Egon Spengler, Peter Venkman, and Winston Zeddemore. And these are just really great little likenesses of the figures. Typically with the Minimates, what you'll notice is that the faces are kind of sort of like the actors are trying to mimic. I'd say for the most part, these figures hit it off. Ray's probably the only face of these Minimates figures that I think is a little bit off. But otherwise, Venkman looks like Bill Murray, Egon looks like Harold Ramis, Winston looks like Ernie Hudson, and the Dan Aykroyd likeness is just a little bit loose on the Ray figure. But let's go ahead and get started by taking a look at the detail on these guys. Let's kick things off by taking a look at Ray Stantz. You'll notice he does have a brown hair sculpt, and the hair is sculpted the way his hair looked in that movie, kind of poofy, and he's got a bit of a scared or timid look on his face. And as we come down, he does have the Ray Stantz patch on his jumpsuit, which is a nice touch. He does have his proton pack straps and the utility belt, and some accessories we'll talk about in the accessories section. And coming down, he does have his boots laced up. On this shoulder, he does have the Ghostbusters emblem. It is absent from the other side, but it wasn't there in the films either. And as we flip him around, he does have his proton pack on the back that's beautifully painted. Let's go ahead and move on to the Egon figure. And as we take a look at the Egon figure, you'll see that he does have sort of that flat top hairstyle that he had in the films. You'll see that he does have a pretty good likeness to actor Harold Ramis, almost a caricature-like look for the character. And I like the wince that he has on his face. Kind of reminds you when he's blasting his proton pack. And as we come down the figure, he does have his name on the jumpsuit, and he has all the same accessories as Ray, and his boots are laced up. He's got the patch on the arm there, nothing on the other side, and of course he's got the beautifully detailed proton pack. Moving along to Peter Venkman, we can see that he does have sort of the balding hairstyle that Bill Murray had in that film. He does have a brown hair sculpt as well. He's got a face that I think really looks like Bill Murray. I really appreciate how that came out. He's got the name tag on his suit that does say Venkman. He's got the same accessories as Ray and Egon. Now you'll notice that Peter doesn't have his boots laced up. That's because in the films, he was the only Ghostbuster who had his pants untucked. So I like that they included that detail on the Minimate figure. He also has the Ghostbuster emblem on the shoulder, and he's got nothing on the other side, and he's got a beautifully detailed proton pack. And last but certainly not least, we do have Winston Zeddemore. And Winston has the hairstyle that he was sporting in the first film. It's a little more puffy than I remember being. I think it was more of a closer crop in the movie if you watch it again. He does have the happy expression, which the name of this box set is the I Love This Town box set, and of course that's a direct quote from Winston in the film. So that's the face that they've chosen to give Winston on his minifigure, which I really like. Is that moment at the end of the film, after they defeated the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, where he just stands back, and yes, the pieces do come off, but they go right back on. But he does stand back and just say, I love this town, and he just laughs, and that's kind of how the movie ends. So I like that that's the face that they gave this figure. He's also got a name tag on his jumpsuit that does say Zeddemore, and he, as you come down here, it's the same accessories as Ray and Egon and Peter, and of course his boots are laced up. He's got the Ghostbuster emblem on this shoulder over here, nothing on that shoulder, and of course that beautifully detailed proton pack. Alright toy fans, let's go ahead and move on to accessories. Now, this box set comes with a ton of accessories. Diamond Select and Art Asylum really went out of their way to give us everything we could possibly want for our Ghostbusters minifigures, which really I think help and add to this set and make it feel like the definitive Minimates Ghostbusters box set. But we do have some character-specific accessories, as well as some general accessories for everyone involved. Let's start by pointing out these head sculpts. We do actually have extra heads for Egon, since his one face that he has there is a bit squinty and kind of animated. We've got a neutral face for Egon, so it's great to have that. And it's pretty easy to change this. You'll just go ahead and take Egon's hair off. You'll pull off his head, and bear with me here while I get that off here. And just go ahead and pop on this other head. There we go, it just pops right on. And then you can grab the hair sculpt and just go ahead and stick it back on his head. And it's a bit tight, I don't change it out too much, but there we have Egon with his neutral look. So I really appreciate that that's included as part of the box set. The other head sculpt that we have here is a scared look for Peter Venkman. And of course this is probably most reminiscent of when he's being chased down by Slimer at the Sedgwick Hotel. And to change this head sculpt on Peter, all we got to do is take him, pull off his hair sculpt, and here we go. And pop off that head. Here it comes. And we're going to go ahead and just slide on this head, and it just pops on nicely. There we go. And he can put his hair piece back on. And now he's ready to be slimed. And as we move on through the accessories here, we'll see that we do have these goggles. I forget the exact name, forgive me guys, it's been forever. I don't think they're thermal goggles, but they fit right on Ray's head pretty nicely. They are designed to go on his hair, not necessarily over his face, but Ray wore these goggles on his forehead more than he did his eyes in the films. And I think it's a nice touch to have those to put that on Ray. And of course we do have the PKE meter that Egon used both on the animated series and in both films, and it just fits nicely into his hand, which is absolutely great. And there we go. He's ready to scan for ectoplasm or what have you. And then of course we do have this trap accessory. Now it's worth noting that all of these figures have a trap on their proton pack. You notice as we move the proton wand out of the way, they do have this trap that actually connects to their proton pack, and it's great because this trap can actually be held in their hand or it can be set on the ground. But let's say you're doing a little action scene and you want to have the Ghostbusters trying to trap somebody. You do actually have this trap accessory that features the trap with doors open, and it even has a little pedal that their foot can stand on. And it's just great as far as posability and just options with the figures. So I'm really glad that that was included. A really fun accessory there. And while we're taking a look at the proton pack, let's go ahead and pull Winston off his stand here. And we'll see that he does have this beautifully detailed proton pack. It's got all the lights and all the wiring that you remember from the films. It's got a lot of connectivity. As we saw here, the trap does actually stick onto the side of the proton pack. There's a peg that matches the hole on the trap. And you can just go ahead and slide that right onto the figure for storage. And we do have these proton wands. Now the proton wands do connect to a peg that's in the top of the proton pack on the side there. And there is the hole in the bottom of the proton wand. And these wands actually attach to the figure's hands pretty nicely. They have a little peg that just slides right into the figure's hand. And they're ready to aim their proton wand at any ghost that's unsuspecting. And you'll see that we do have these proton streams down here. And what's really great about these is that you can actually grab one of these proton streams and plug it right onto the end of the proton wand. And now you've got Winston blasting a ghost. So some excellent dynamic action scenes can be done with these figures. Really, really glad that these were included. A lot of fun. And the final accessory that you see that these guys come with are actually these hair sculpts in the back. And bear with me here while I reattach this wand onto Winston's backpack. Alright, there we go. And the final accessory we have here are these head sculpts. Now you'll notice these is actually Marshmallow from the end of the film, and each head sculpt, or each hair sculpt rather, has a bit of hair shining through. We've got a lighter color brown, which mostly matches Ray's head sculpt, and we have this other hair sculpt that's got black in it, which can basically go on any of the other three guys. And it's pretty easy to get these on. The only thing is you do have to get the proton pack off of these characters before you can put the marshmallow on their head, because the proton packs do kind of hinder the ability to slide the headpiece all the way down. So we're going to take a quick break while I get these hair pieces on. Alright guys, and there we have Egon and Ray covered in marshmallow. I mean, there are so many accessories. I even forgot to mention, every one of these figures does include a walkie-talkie on their belt that is removable and goes right back on there. I mean, like I said, they got all the details right on these Ghostbuster figures, and of course they all come with these display stands. The articulation for these Minimates is identical across the set, so I'm going to go ahead and show you how they move with Peter Venkman over here. To start with, you'll see that he does have a head that'll spin 360 degrees. And his head is on a ball joint, so it's able to move in pretty much any direction you want to move it in. He does have a shoulder that rotates 360 degrees. He has a single jointed elbow that will bend forward, or will bend back about that far and bend forward this far. He does have an elbow pad, in fact all these Ghostbusters do, but they do a good job of staying out of the way. He's got a wrist rotation that spins 360 degrees. He's got a waist rotation that spins 360 degrees. He's got a leg that'll bend forward this far and bend back that far. He does have a single jointed knee, and he does have a an ankle rotation that'll spin 360 degrees as well. So a great range of posability for these minifigures. Very, very happy with that. Taking a look at the height now of these Minimates, we can see that they stand at just over 2¼ inches tall. And here we have some of the Ghostbuster Minimates compared to Kirk from the Star Trek Minimate line. And compared to the original release of Captain Kirk from the Minimate series. And finally, just for fun, here we have these Ghostbusters Minimate figures compared to a Peter Venkman from the Kenner Ghostbusters line from 1989. Alright, Toy fans, so that's my review of the Ghostbusters I Love This Town box set released in 2014 by Art Asylum and Diamond Select. And overall, this is an absolutely incredible box set. This is the perfect accessory or the perfect collectible for any sort of Ghostbusters fan, any fan of Minimates. I mean, this particular box set alone comes with so many accessories, the detail is fantastic, there's tons of articulation. This is the quintessential Ghostbusters Minimate set for sure, but also this is probably the perfect gift or the perfect collectible for the Ghostbusters fan that you may know in your life, or for yourself if you're a fan. You guys have to go out and check out this box set. It retails for $19.99, which is a very good price for these things. I was very happy with the amount of content and the amount of quality I got when I picked up this box set. It was released in 2014, so it's still for sale online for really good prices. Definitely go check it out. Well, that's my review, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also, if you would in the comments, feel free to leave your favorite Ghostbusters quote. I mean, it's the 30th anniversary. Let's celebrate. You know, whether it's, if there's a steady paycheck involved, I'll believe anything you say, or just simply, who you gonna call? Any sort of line from that film, share it in the comments. I'd love to see what you guys love about the film. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, don't cross the streams.